Welcome back to the ESL Pro League. We've just seen the first map between North versus Heroic. It was an exciting one. It was down to the wire. It went to OT, but we're back for map 2. Here you go. Why don't you give me your brief thoughts on that? Obviously, going into things, Overpass was a bit of a wild one. Is it going to be the same affair?
I think over in this one, that Heroic have more chance. I feel like if it starts out the way that the previous map started out, I don't think they'll be able to put it back. This is one of the more harder comeback maps, I would say. Okay. So going into this one, I feel like, yeah, if Heroic can get a good, get good momentum on the beginning of the match, and at least, start to run it out in their favor, they could actually take it away. But realistically, not over off the confidence of the previous one, but also the fact that North is just so well trained on this map. I think it's going to be a closeout for North. I would expect that to be likely, but I definitely think it'll be close, much as the previous one was obviously going into OT. It's a hard one to gauge. Again, these two teams are of some kind of similar levels. We obviously have very similar map pools between them. We talked about this all in the pre-game of the previous map. Them all loving Nuke, them both loving Mirage, and then both loving Overpass. So going into this one, currently we can look at stats and go, okay, Heroic are something like 8 and 5, and North are 5 and 3 on this map. So is that really a lot to work with? Not much, to be honest. Neither team's great or abysmal at this map.
It's true. And talking about that map, obviously, if you guys did miss Overpass, you might want to check it out. It was a crazy one. Head over to our YouTube channel. You can watch the VOD there. Also, all the other games will be available. Hit us up as well. Subscribe, and don't forget to ring that bell whilst you're there. But Hugo, obviously, coming into it, you're giving us your brief thoughts, obviously, on that second map. Why, it's going to be that way, because of how it affects both of their map pools and coming into it. Also, with Jugi playing so phenomenally, if we just touch on that, is he going to be one to watch once again? The effective playmaker, are we going to see as much from him, or will he be a little bit more quiet going into this?
Again, a great map for Ops Mirage. You can throw them around over on the CT side to whichever site you please. You have such versatility. You typically, can even have the ability to retake on sites like A with the AWP. It's actually fairly easy due to the fact that you can come in through positions like stairs, for example, and ticket booth, and get those elevated angles to peek on into the sites to get players playing default or triple. So yeah, really good potential for Yugi to actually go off into this match. I'm going to keep my eye on MSL again for North, because while a lot of people may find that strange, the past 3 maps we've watched him play here in the EPL, he has absolutely gone ham, and I'm expecting that to continue today. But welcome everyone, this is going to be the second map. We see Config on the Deagle on the side of North, and Heroic a full armor buy on the CT side.
Let's witness how this one will go down though. Config with the early aggression. They're trying to take that fight towards the A bomb site. Meanwhile, the bomb is situated towards the outside of B, so it will be a bit of a lampooning going on. Nico, though, with the opening frag, taking the headshot upon MSL. And this does make things a little bit more awkward. No overrate has gone down as well. They still have the angle cover. This should be easy pickings for Jugi as the peak comes through. Struggling a little bit. Magic actually takes him down now as they slip their way in towards B. Second guessing actually as they begin to back off.
Yeah, 4 on 4. At least it's been equalised for North, but still, again, you've got 2 players without armour, meaning they're going to be in an awkward spot for Config. Look at this, just tearing the head off of Nico in retaliation with that Deagle. Bit more damage on Valde, but no kill coming out yet for North, and they're just sitting pretty with a 4 on 3. Make that a 4 on 2. Cajun is going to be pushing into the jungle. There's a second as well. He is going off today. It's all onto Valde. Left to rotate back into the site where many North members do lurk, and the bomb going down as well, while Valde can push in through the murder hole easily. He's got a lot to do, and he's not going to be able to start off well. Misses Cajun. Eventually finds a headshot, but has to turn back around to Config, but nothing going to happen. Deagle goes big. 2 kills to the man himself, and North a first round on the board. Good start.
Nicely done as they slip their way through very easily by coming back in as well now. Obviously, these UMPs in play. Seems like they might actually be discussing what they want to do with the rifles as well. Config not decided on what he will buy up just yet. Oh, just actually sticking with that Deagle so obviously they can try and squeeze the AWP out potentially to later rounds. Those 2 UMP in play, though, 2 rifles. They have the range advantage. They can play it very slow if they want to, just try and play from far back range. No aggression coming out, which is smart as well. Forcing the hand of Heroic. If Heroic want to make the mistakes, they'll allow them to.
And Heroic really want this AWP on Yugi. They know how pivotal it is, so he's just going to be fully going into this one while the rest of his team buy up around him. Will obviously be able to bring that out in the 4th round when they go for the buy, if he doesn't invest anything into these. And obviously any damage on top of that he can get with the USP is going to be great and add for him a little bit of utility to play with. But let's see, this aggression comes through. Magisk is holding back passively. I think he spotted them though. Just going to see them through the pixel. They will just back off there, not wanting to risk getting taken down early on and giving away the man advantage, because look at North's positions. They're so set up outside of B for the time being. They are just going to burst as soon as they get a pick. But oh, Config on the other side of the map doing damage. He takes the body away, takes down Modi. And a 5 on 4 going to engage as North will reactively push into mid, maybe splitting into the connector here to go for this A play, and they're going to be able to do it very easily. Cajun, another quick kill, no one chasing towards short, and only Yugi left on the A site.
Awkward situation. Snappy on the aggression, though, works his way down through middle, but unfortunately for him, he gets caught off guard by KGB, leaving just 2 members left standing. Looking like this could potentially be a flawless round for North. It'll be a huge feat for them if they go through and pick that up. AZ as well. Connection headshot over onto Jugi, leaving it just down to Nico. CZ in hand will try and connect a couple of shots, but can't really achieve too much. Forced to fall back. KGB with the execution there with the AK-47 as well. North pick another round up, as you would expect.
Clean cut there for the T side. And obviously Heroic yet to really get anything special on the board, but they're yet to go into their buy. It's going to be another full eco here. I won't see any investments. Yugi needs to save that all, but the rest of them $1,900, so no reason to drop that to $1,600 here. I like the passive play and the reserve play because we see a lot of teams that seem to be very, very forcey. I think Simple on Na'Vi is a great example. Even on ecos, even when they're winning, when they're losing, when they're drawing, he likes to force up a lot, and that does come down to hurt him later in the match, but Heroic at least playing reserved and calculated here with the full USPs. It's going to be a throwaway. Yes, they won't be able to get much, if any, kills into this one, but at least they can, sit safely knowing they will have a buy on their shoulders into the next round.
Just trying to achieve something as he goes for the peek out towards mid, connecting shots nearly onto Jugi, ever so close to actually getting the opening frag. Modi as well could potentially use some damage here if Config is not aware. You can see him edging out, clearing the angle slightly as he makes his approach through. Does not want to be caught off guard. Isn't aware though. Oh, Modi trying to go for the knife. The Butcher play nearly. But he will be eventually taken down by Config.
Can't blame him for that, to be honest. The USP kill's just going to get him $300, and while that would give him a little bit of money to buy up some more nades in the next round, maybe even facilitate a kit on the side of the CTs, it's worth the risk going for the knife. It's just unfortunate that we saw Config back off there in the apartments. Either way, it's going to be a clean round here for North, only losing MSL so far, and I wouldn't expect too much more unless Config gets called off by Nico. Actually getting aggressive here, he has good potential. Spamming away with the Deagle will be enough. 2 HP left on himself, and 3 rounds here for North. As Heroic now go into the buy, the AWP will be bought up from Yugi as well. He's been saving for that since the second round, and North sticking with the bonus play. They've got a couple of SMGs, and AWP is going to be found for Cajun B as well. But an AK going to be grabbed actually on Configs. No, only keeping 1 UMP. So actually North are going to have a decent buy on their shoulders here, not risking things up with SMGs. Yeah,
no point trying to run that risk and allow yourself to get punished into these rounds. Bring your A game, have a good arsenal behind you, and take that fight towards the A bomb site. But they want to try and go for a bit of a pincer play towards A early with a backstab coming through late from Cajun B. Obviously, he has the AWP as well. Situated now towards the B bomb site, but Valde actually gets the opener as well. This is going to delay things for a few moments as he gets that opening kill upon MSL. They're hungry to try and do more damage as well. Cajun B falls towards B. That's a free second AWP going to the way of Heroic if they wish to take it, which they will. As the aggression now comes through, you can see North halted on this push towards B.
Valde spammed down by his teammate over towards short. He will eventually get mollied out on the stairs. Can't peek aggressively to stop North from getting control of the site, and that's good as well. That Molotov's important because it allows him to get the bomb down here in the open, as no one can peek him out from stairs. And Modi coming back into the CT spawn, 1 quick kill. I don't know why he changed weapon. He still had 20 bullets left as he gets taken down. AZ going to retaliate. It's going to be a 1-on-4 though, and the bomb is already being stuck without a kit. No pressure. They got plenty of time for this one, and Valde's going to be defending just to support. It's him to pick up the final kill. The AWP saved as well. Nico should be able to pick that one up for Yugi. And first round on the board for Heroic. Can't afford a reset though, as North are going to be able to buy.
Yep, the buy will come through, but they do have a double AWP set up in play now as well. So they can be a little bit more aggressive if they want to. More fluidity can be displayed as well, depending on what type of fight they actually want to bring into this round. Seems like Nico will be taking the secondary AWP as well. Oh no, Snappy actually going to be sticking with it there, obviously, as he was just dropping him that M4. Now then, what will they bring to the table here? Jugi, aggressive peek towards mid early on. He's not found too much success just yet. And it will be the same old story. No one peeking into him. They don't want to run the risk of taking that fight.
Deep mid control here from MSL. Taken. Support as well towards connector. That's going to be easy there, looking for the opener. I like the wall of smokes around through middle. There's no peeking going out for Heroic. North completely cordoned off all areas, and while they are trying to exploit just around the edge of these smokes as they start to dissipate, it will finally be the window smoke to fall, and Valde, a quick kill there onto Config, who tries to jump into his eyes, goes in for a little bit more, and North, I don't know why they can't just take an angle that's not mid-air, as they just get overrun. The nade does reaffirm some damage though, as Magis throws that there onto Valde, back into a 2-on-3. Heroic going to be wrapping Yugi through the CT spawn. And Magis could split up into the A site, especially considering the position of Cajun, who's already actually managed to find himself deep through ramp. He's over towards that A side boxes, and Snappy trying to snap the angle back onto the side of Cajun. Not going to be able to connect, and the Molotov will hold him back on. North should have a bomb plant here.
They will be able to get it planted for sure. They have a good angle to work with. They can, you know, take their time as well, back off, get into these after plants, but it's just scary as Heroic are arriving on the scene, ready to try and retake this. They have a lot more utility to play with as well. Those smokes, they can block off the lines of sight. They can make it so harder for North when they want to try and defuse that bomb. You can see Magic as well trying to take the aggression. He's hoping that he can create some 1v1 series to get to the opening frag, but the instant trade comes back from Juki, leaving it just on Cajun B. He has to do this individually now. He has to try and get both of the frags, ward them off, and be able to pick up this round on his own. He will get one though. Peak comes through, but he's aware Juki's on the bomb. Has to take the fight through, but he's burnt alive, sprinting towards the bomb to try and delay. He will get burnt to a crisp, and Juki picks it up.
That's so unfortunate there for North. Dear, oh dear, Heroic are going to be able to close it out on the retake, and with 2 orbs as well, which is very, very difficult to go for a retake in that position. They do make it work, obviously, and now we see them up to 2 rounds, as North still able to reinvest. The bomb plant definitely going to facilitate another buy coming out here. And just down to that bomb plant as well, because without that, they wouldn't be able to afford utility. They're even fairly struggling here, but look at that from Yugi. A nice cross jump onto short. That's going to be quick, but North aren't committing with it. And I think that's mainly due to the spray. If Yugi's going to go for that jump, his teammates can't afford to be spraying down through middle, because now they're going to expect him towards short. There's been time for him to get in position there if he wrapped in through B. So I don't know, holding back North with that spray, but either way, doesn't matter. The damage does come through here for the T side, but nothing too significant. Okay, now it's changed. Now Valdi's low as well. We've got 2 low players, and we've got 1 dead one as well.
This is good so far. They're actually getting these opening frags. Obviously, MSL upon Nico. You take him down, you get yourself into a fabulous situation to try and work with into the late round. Valde is so low, so is Jugi. What are they actually meant to do in this situation? It's going to be awkward for them as the push comes through towards the A bomb site. Modi is there as well, playing close to ticket box, just edging around. He has the backup of his teammate in Juki with the AWP scoped in. They know that the T's have got so much map control, so they're confused about which angle they're going to actually come from.
North are just so perfectly set up right now. Heroic can't really reposition. If they do, they get caught out, and the fact they're going for this B stack is just completely wrong as well. They've not read the situation right at all. Yugi's going to be wrapping back into the market, and now we see this control come out towards ramp. Both Magisk and Cajun pushing up, and that will allow this split. As MSL, he takes deep control as well. They need to clear out all areas of the map, as Modi is left in towards the CT spawn just alone, playing for the retake. I think he might even back off in this position, maybe even just saving, because the fact of the matter is 2 players are low. He's hidden alone towards the back of CT, waiting for someone from North to get aggressive, but if he can save, he should be running away. And yeah, the rest of the guys will over on the B site, at least as they make their way deep into the apartments. North have managed to pick themselves up a 4th round, but at least it's not a straight reset. And the fact of the matter is, if they can keep at least 3 of these players alive, then they've actually made a bit of money, or not made a bit of money, but kept a bit of money to facilitate a buy coming up into that next round.
That's true. It's a good situation to be in. At least they still have those weapons. You can see North going a little bit John Rambo, but still, they don't have the best economy either, so they don't want to run the risk of losing too many players. And unfortunately, AZ actually goes down from the back of Snappy. Config, close by, but that smoke will just kind of set the sail. There is no reason he would push through that and try and run the risk. So they do slip their way through with nearly a full buy worth of weapons. They only have to buy up on 1 man. Snappy obviously just going to opt to drop that over to Nico, then go for the UMP buy. Utility's healthy as well, so it's not the worst situation to be in. Anything is, their economy is still pretty lackluster.
This will really, set the stakes on who's going to be able to buy up in the next round. Loser of this is going to be down to Eco for sure, no matter the situation. As you can see, Yugi's going to be spotting towards middle. Nothing will be found. Underpass control going to be taken, but it's very valiant considering he doesn't have that window support. It's going to be, I think, Valdi there pushed down towards lower mid. It's actually, yeah, going to be able to get the kill. MSL caught out. A bit of a risky play, but I like the smoke. At least it puts him in that position safely. And Yugi's going to reposition back towards the jungle area to take down AZ, who tried to split out through Palace. So far, Heroic have found the picks, but can they convert the round as North continue this push up towards EA site? It's Valdi here. Crossfire with Moni. Nice peek out. Going to go for 1. Looking for 2. And with the support of the flashbang, at least he gets the first, but the trade will come through here for Cajun.
Yeah, Cajun be doing some good work so far, but can he achieve anything else? Slowly tiptoeing around. You can see he wants to try and take the fight towards Connector if possible. But he doesn't want to run the risk just yet. Jugi as well, scoped in. Knows that Config and Co are slowly making their approach. Flashbang goes over, does force him to reposition now. So the T's actually able to brush their way on towards the bomb site. Oh, barely spots out Cajun as he slips in towards Palace. This is getting awkward. Spots out his barrel as well. The timing for Juki, this is so unfortunate. Every time he spots them out, it's just at the wrong second. Goes back, hungry for more though. Valde has arrived on the scene as well. All the CTs in close proximity now. There will be a fight with Snappy as well, running straight into the hands of Cajun as he tries to knife him down. Oh, that could have been an absolute nightmare, but Snappy will find the headshot. Juki as well eventually gets a kill with his own. Bomb defuse comes in.
Oh my god, I freaked out there. I thought he was actually going to get the kill. I didn't expect him to not change weapons while pushing deep into the palace, but even so, yeah, Heroic make it work. 4 players, and even with the bomb plant, North's money is looking quite dire here. They're actually going to reinvest, but it won't be a full buy by any means. They're going to have a pistol here, a Galil on another player. At least they get a good amount of utility, which is something I'm fairly impressed at. Obviously, the bomb plant going to allow that, but definitely not the best buy we've seen so far from North. Heroic are going to have that double up here on Snappy. Interesting. Never really a team to pick up that double up, but I'd like to see how it does work out for them. Yugi posted up in Palace. He's going to be walking on through, and there we go. Quick pick for Heroic, man advantage. They will just back off and sit back.
Holding their angles right now. Foot is on the pedal, ready to burst their way in towards the bomb site, but they need the right moment to strike, and MSL will be the catalyst. Tiptoes his way through, not only to get information, but he has potential to stab them in the back as well. 2 men situated towards that A bomb site. Juki, though, is the absolute powerhouse. That's the scary factor. They're going to be taking their fight through ramp. He could do so much damage to them with this orb. Very easily could pick them off. Molotov goes in as well, seals the deal. They're going to be aware of this. Foundation spot out. MSL will be able to just his crosshair in time and take him down. Juki now as well, ready to execute any of the players that want to take the fight towards him, but he misses the opening shot. This is so devastating, but Modi, with a quick response, unable to do it, actually. Magix takes him down. Juki forced to reposition. Things have gone south.
Yeah, but Cajun going to try and claw his way back in as he takes down the head of Yugi. Snappy coming back in with a quick AWP shot as well. Drops Magis to the floor. Another bomb going down on the site. They're still in aggressive position here from Cajun to catch someone out. Config's not going to commit, just faking for the time being. He will eventually put that bomb down on the site sooner rather than later, and Nico's going to be looking in as he hears the plant. The nade does dunk, but not enough damage is done by it. As you can see, Cajun still holding this cross, and only Config has to focus over towards that CT spawn. But the issue is he has to hide under the balcony where a Molotov could come through, but instead goes towards the back of the site. But here's the retake. Snappy pushing on in. It's the CT control they've got to worry about, because that could really catch out Config in this position. He's got nowhere to fall back on. Cajun but can back off towards ramp if needed, but his teammate, he's forced in the back corner, and we are going to see eventually these re-engagements come in from Heroic. It's Cajun to spray away, but Nico takes the kill, and I like that. Heroic really taking their time on that one, not wanting to push too early, make sure they had the communication, make sure they knew which angles were being held before they finally committed to the retake.
Crazy stuff there. This is looking actually a whole lot better. This is kind of both teams firing from all cylinders. What we saw towards the end of the previous matchup, but, you know, there's no slow burn for Heroic this time. They've come in with their heads in the right mindset. They look good. Sure, it might be a 4-4 scoreline, but it's already been so back and forth. None of these rounds really being too dominant from either side. And now North as well, left in this awkward situation. They're kind of broken. This is sort of the first moment we've seen where Heroic can actually get them in a headlock and try and set themselves up to be the manpower that will take this win. Nico with the opening frags as well. A free cake comes out. I mean, that is just brutal as they sprint their way through a flurry of bullets.
Lovely stuff. Snappy trying to farm some cash as well, but it's Valde to steal his ADR. Config now last man standing, does get the dig. Really insult to injury on Snappy after getting that kill stolen, and Yugi as well, just going to close things out. It will be the round to Heroic, 5-4, just taking the lead, but it doesn't matter because the bite is coming in for North. So AWP is going to be optional here, and Cajun will indeed commit to it as per usual here on the side of North. Rest of them going to be on the rifles. And to be honest here, I'm very impressed by Heroic, but again, it is a 5-4. This map is not significantly, but fairly CT-sided. Fact of the matter is, North have done some good damage early on to this matchup.
Definitely so, but can they try and make that lead any better? Obviously, with Heroic now reclaiming themselves as the leading team so far. Still has to be questions asked whether North can really come back in and lock it down. Obviously, you do favour them in a lot of these matchups, so let's see if they can work their way back to being the top dogs. Aggression towards mid early on. Valde actually does the work towards A, though, before he gets burnt off to the Burns ward by Magis, leaving them in a 3 versus 4. That bomb also now left in an awkward location. It will surely be spotted out by Snappy as he works his way back through T-spawn. They can hold the bomb. They can just kind of take some time off.
Config, this is huge. He can wrap in towards the B site or the A site from this position. He's actually going to come in through CT. Spotted though from Valde, or Modi, sorry, at such an unfortunate timing as Nico actually takes him down. Third time lucky. AZ's in the meantime going to drop Modi, and 2 players now remain here from North. As you can see, they're really stuck in an awkward spot. Nico follows up onto AZ. It's Cajun deep in the site. He's actually managed to find himself a potential to pick, but he will miss that shot as he backs off back towards ramp. Footsteps are going to be heard by the player over in Palace, and Snappy just going to force himself up. There we go. That's a final kill. It's Snappy to take it. Heroic to take the lead even further. 2 rounds ahead now on the CT side. And North, no money here. This is a real issue here.
There will be a tactical pause coming in, obviously, for North. They're just going to try and work some stuff out before they slip their way back through. I mean, smart this time around. Obviously, in the past, we saw these teams not really utilising their pauses until it was very deep into the game. So an early pause coming in here where it still is, chance for them to bounce back is usable.
Yeah, it's on the congestion. Obviously, they've probably got to eco this one out. They had about 3 to 3.5k across the board, so a bit of a quasi. Maybe they've got a bit of a loss bonus. It's actually maxed out after that one, so yeah, they've got enough to play with now. Obviously, it's going to be difficult to get back into the matchup with a quasi, so yeah, I can see over there they're just investing in Tech 9 and armors, so not too much, I guess, by coming out next round, and then we're under the real battle. But this is going to allow Heroic to pick themselves up 7 rounds on the CT side, more than likely, which is actually a very good start considering they only got 4 rounds in their first half in the previous map.
It's true. So let's see how that will actually affect them as we work our way back through. It's been exciting so far, but will it continue? An absolute bloodbath coming out, you would imagine, because North, no real weapons to play with in their arsenal. Heroic should shut this down fairly easily. Then the real game will begin once again.
Let's have a look. A smokes. Very, very standard here for North. Nothing too spicy to bring into the mix as Heroic. They're more so playing for retake. I like that. They seem prepared for this one. Like they're accepting of what North are going to be able to throw into the mix as Modi holds off back towards CT. We have no close positions and no site control from Heroic. And it doesn't matter because a 5-on-5 retake is going to be absolutely fine here for the CTs to clean up. If Modi can get himself a kill or 2 or even deny the bomb plant, hit through the smoke, that'd be a lot better. But obviously it's going to be a bit of an off plant here because they have all the site under control. Won't be able to stop that. A bit of damage done by the nades and the smoke spam here from Heroic, and here's where the 5-on-5 retake is going to initiate.
They need to try and get another frag on the board here to make their lives easier. Sure, they don't have a superior arsenal on the side of North, but having that 5-member advantage will definitely try and aid them. Valde and Nico, though, going for the trades as they work their way through. MSL comes back in to bite them, though. On the site, it's going to be Snappy as he works his way through, taking down Magix, leaving Config and MSL to try and claw this one back. Snappy, another frag takes him down, but Config showing just how to use that Tech 9 as he waddles around, dealing some fantastic shots. Config, a 6 shot, the hat-trick comes through. Takes down Jugi, grabs an AWP as well. Brutal.
Tech 9 is a balanced pistol. That's all I have to say. That is just upsetting though. But great play from Config. You've got to give it to him. That was a phenomenal clutch there. And now 5 rounds to North. We said, expectedly it would be a 7th for Heroic, but obviously I should bite my tongue when I see Tech 9s being bought up. North are going to be back into this matchup and with a hell of a lot of money to play with after that AWP has been saved. But Yugi opening things up with his own orb as he takes down Config himself. Great performance in the previous round, but it won't continue. Cajuan's going to have to pull things back, at least with his own AWP, as he pushes up and towards middle. There's B-Apps control as well. A potential B-split in the mix here as Magix is forced up. And in the meantime, Heroic getting aggressive towards situations like Ramp is going to give them a lot of information on the whereabouts of North and the setup they can be expecting. So I may be hoping to see a bit of a rotation back towards A from people like Yugi, who could completely give up this control, because there's no real need with this push down through Ramp. They know it's a middle play, and really they don't need anyone holding off onto the connector here.
Just the only man left in this round, and he isn't standing for long. Snappy takes him down, and that is a very effective round coming out from Heroic, actually. North, they did well in the previous one. Obviously, it was more of individual prowess rather than their actual buy or anything else. They worked their way through just off Config going crazy with the Tech 9. Now their economy is once again taking a bit of a hit. They're left in this awkward situation this round. The Tech 9s come back out. I wouldn't count them out because they've shown just how crazy they can be with these pistols, but what's going to happen here? I mean, obviously, North, they need to work their way through, but they just don't have the advantages around. Heroic, you would imagine, getting their 8th on the board here.
Yeah, this reset's really hurt North. And without the A smokes here, it's going to be difficult, but they actually go for the mid split and do connector. It is the A smokes again. Sorry, it's Nico. He dives on through, but he hears him behind him, going to spray away. He's on top of his head. Hello from above, AZ says as he gets the kill onto Nico. It's a refrag from Valde. Very important. Occasion with the most balanced pistol in the game as he runs on into the site. 2 quick headshots and pulls it back for North. It's a 4-on-2. Modi unable to stop this bomb plant if it does get committed, but Yugi's going to be jumping in for a rotation. Actually spams away, but no! Config flicks back. A quick headshot. Modi knows the bomb's going down, but he can't shoot without giving away his position. And frankly, there is no position to give away. He has been finished off here, and North have got themselves, once again, another force buy round.
So awkward.
Why are they buying AKs, Jackie? Why?
Yeah,
stick with Tech 9s.
It's true, that's the thing. It's so awkward when you get them into a situation where you think, right, they should be able to lock this down now. Heroic, they have this round very easily, but obviously the Tech 9s come out, and you just cannot count North out at that point. It's tearing it up right now with these Tech 9s, ripping their way through. Luckily, Heroic did still have money to play with into this final round, right? They can work their way through, sorry, into this final round, but back into this. as they needed a lifeline, as it just was not going into their favour. The AWP goes out over on Jugi, everyone else looking remotely healthy, but they just don't have an awful lot of nades.
Yeah, if North pick this one up, Heroic are going to be eco for the final one, so an 8-7 looking really possible here, but if Heroic pick this up, North will still be able to buy. So it's not too much of an issue here for the T side, but more so for Heroic. They need this, second last round of the half. They need to get that advantage going into the second one. As Valdi pushes out in through the connector, I think they know exactly what's going to be going on, but they don't have anyone throwing in a Molotov. Instead, he's just going to get himself a free kill. Magis trades, but at the cost of 90 damage, as he's down to 10 HP, and a peek out from Nico will finally remove MSL. He has a bomb under control as well, which is huge, with no position here from Magis just due to being low. He can't even crossfire from short, and now he finally does react, this time from connector. But he is very low still. It's definitely not North's round for sure, but they have got the man advantage.
Jugi and Snappy left in this 2 versus 3. If they can find some angles to go for a peek, turn this into a 1 versus 1, potentially there would have been chances there. Both of those players were so low. They just had to have the right angles to try and work their way through, but both of them caught off guard. They had no real answer into that one, and North actually linked these rounds together now as well. So going into the final round, now this is when Heroic have no money to play with.
Yeah, they've got to force things up. 8-7 for North, which is obviously looking likely. I'm gonna regret saying that, aren't I? But it's looking likely 8-7 to North. With them picking that up, that's a great T side. Considering the start that Heroic had, they obviously had quite a few rounds ahead, and the last few North have kind of just pulled back off the back of these force buys, these Tech 9 rushes, and it's really been, not only resetting the economy of Heroic, but also probably getting to their heads a little bit. It's got to annoy you throwing away all these rounds that you should be able to convert fairly easily. But look at Valdi. He's getting pushed from connector. He doesn't even realise. Flash does go out. That will be perfect. Peeks in with it. There's one free kill. No, it's not. As MSL, he shoots in through the flash. Gets himself an opener. Cajun and Config will combine for one more each. And the Deagle spamming away. Does react in getting one frag. But it's a small positive here for Heroic in a very dire situation. Snappy gets another. But it's still a 3-on-2.
That bomb will go down thanks to MSL slipping his way on towards the bomb site, leaving just Jugi and Snappy left to try and make this into a better situation. Snappy waddling his way up, trying to get into a vantage point, trying to give him something to aid his teammates, but the wallbanger actually comes through. We'll take down MSL, leaving them in a 2 versus 2 situation with a backstab from Magis. This could be so huge if he could pull this one off. Approaches, the spray down comes through. Magix simply does it. Will execute them. A fantastic round comes out. 7-8 will be the scoreline. Will North be able to close it out in the second half though? Find out after the break. Everyone, welcome back. Thank you for sticking around for that very short break. Obviously, we're going to be jumping back into the second half very shortly. And now the thing is, it's interesting between both these teams. The first map, it was a very dominant affair for either side, but neither of them playing well at the same time. Now coming to map 2, everyone's popping off. It's so close to call.
Yeah, it's a really hard prediction going into this one. North obviously just taking the lead into that second half thanks to obviously all the force buys that somehow had success. We saw so many Tech 9 rounds that they actually managed to pull away in their favour. And now going into the second half, obviously Heroic are going to have the option for that too. They're back on this T side. Obviously they had their own struggles over on Overpass T side, very different comparison. But that really was a downfall of them actually not being able to close out the map, because their comeback was great on CT. Their CT half was absolutely flawless almost, but their T side was the one that held them back, especially in OT as well. So going into this, I'm quite scared for Heroic. Maybe Yugi can go off, but he's not been having too much effect coming into the second map, which is something we were a bit worried about. We said if he goes off, and if he does what he usually does with the AWP and Mirage, we're okay. Heroic, they'll just, they'll clean it up maybe, but again, he's not really having the performance. We're having no one from Heroic really step up massively. They just seem to all be getting crushed.
True. Towards the end there, you know, it was kind of more dominant coming through from North. And it was interesting as well because North, especially on those pistol rounds, that's where they started to really kick off. It was crazy to see sort of, even when they were down in tons of their economy, they were just dealing so much damage individually. So if they can keep that up, that is going to be scary, especially coming into this open pistol round. But let's see if that will be the case as we slip back in.
Indeed. Heroic not opting to go for the full nades that we have, the full armor that we have seen quite a lot. They've got a P250 on Stampy with a few flashbangs. The rest of them going to be on armor, and MSL just defaulting out with a kit with the rest of them on their own Kevlar as well. Cajun jump spotting towards B. He will see this full mass of players. And MSL's posted up with a nade. This could be perfectly placed. It will go right into the apartments. Good damage onto two of the players, but the headshots are what counts. As MSL spams away, looks to this opening kill. He's got no armor, so Glocks are going to be lethal at a close range, and Nico will prove why. Cajun gets one in the meantime, but he isn't even dropped here as he backs off towards the market. It's kills going back and forth. Eventually, Cajun will secure himself a 2k to take the advantage back for north side. And with Config coming in from behind as well, this is perfect. The bomb being planted. He tries to deny it, but no. Snappy plants. And North, while they will get the defuse in plenty of time, Heroic at least going to have that buffer so they can buy up in the third round of the half.
Yeah, important that at least they got that bomb down, right? Saves them from having to basically concede another round very early on and gives them that chance to come back in early and try and shut things down. Always as well, when you whip out those AKs, it will leave North on a bit of an awkward buy because most likely they won't invest overly heavily and force up a round knowing that you are going to go for that investment. Now, the Tech-9's in play as well. They're weapons that can be very powerful. If you catch your opposition off guard, really try and overwhelm. Interesting enough as well, actually 3 rifles coming out over on the side of North, investing very heavily into the round.
Yeah, playing it safely, to be honest, because this match is still close. While Heroic are obviously forcing, which is a bit of a surprise, North are kind of playing it expecting, you know, keeping these guns alive and then bringing them into the third of the round where we actually see Heroic invest, but this force is really going to catch them off guard. However, they are very well equipped for it, as you say. So, pistols out. Heroic in towards middle, very deep underpass control as AZ spots out. He could get picked here, but in the flip side, he could do some good damage. Smoke goes down though, he's just backing off. And this position, this angle on top of that box is going to allow him to still peek out towards short to stop Heroic from splitting. But look at that from Valde, a quick frag onto MSL.
Headshot comes through. Fantastic stuff so far as they try and keep this pain train rolling as well. Snappy will connect another one upon AZ. This Tech-9 buy is working out so fantastically so far as they situate their assets towards that B-bomb site. Config trying to dispatch them. Will get 2 frags as he works his way through. Hungry to try and do more as well as he roams around, trying to reposition to get the drop on him, but he can't quite get the angle. Valde with a 2k now coming out off the back of that UMP spray, leaving just Magics to try and retrieve anything into the round. Sure, some of the players on Heroic are low, but they're in great after-plant positions. They have no reason to peek either. So Magics, you'd imagine, won't be able to achieve a single thing into this.
Let's have a look as he forces himself into the site. Can't really risk throwing this one away. North are going to be screwed money-wise unless he can pick this one up as he pushes himself back in. Time is ticking low, and without a free pick, I don't know if he's even going to commit. Look at that peek, though. Valde, I think he knew exactly what was going on. He does get taken down, though, and so much damage and retaliation. It's Yugi only going to need one more deagle shot to put the nail in the coffin there for the side of North. And frankly, Jackie, these Tech-9s are proving to be very, very dangerous weapons. North, not only were they able to utilize them to pick up 2 force-buy rounds, Heroic have just done it on the back of the pistol.
Yeah, it's true. They're weapons that have been so effective for both of these Danish teams when it comes to the T side. They are just bursting their way in. They are taking names so easily. The AKs come through as well, though, and now they have that range advantage. Aggression will go down towards mid, though. You can see Config trying to lead the charge, Deagle in hand. If he gets the drop on him, he could definitely do some damage here. Peeks through, but the whiff comes out. The apple crumble is served. Easy, though. He knows how to use a Deagle. Connects the headshot upon Snappy. Nico will fire back, though, and get 2 kills of his own.
A 2-for-1 going to be good for Heroic here, especially considering North are still, you know, viable with these pistols. But only 1 deagle left for the range. We've got 2 more close range pistols, Cajun on the 5.7 and Magisk on the CZ as well as Heroic. They are just holding back, seeing if North are going to get aggressive, because in these kind of cheesy rounds when you only have pistols, you like to see some a bit of aggression. Your CT just rushing up and pushing into your, you know, into your angles like this, for example. Magisk pushed up towards short ramp as MSL starts to take a bit of short control. And Cajun moves himself into window to support, so he's going to be faced with the full push coming out from Heroic at the start of the round. But he's got to deny at least 1, hopefully 2, to make it a 3-on-2.
Nice from a close angle. He will be taken down though. The execution comes through off the back of Valde. An easy frag going his way. Cajun trying to respond as well. Hammering down on the trigger with that 5-7. Connects one shot upon Valde, forcing the T's to try and reposition. Now MSL does one better as well. Connects the headshot upon Nico. Leaves him in a 1 versus 2. They're the in-game leader. He's been stepping up. He's been leading by example in all of the games we've seen him in recently. He's really been going big for the side of North, but could he do the unthinkable here? A 1 versus 2. A Deagle is the only weapon he has. And the dream to try and win the round. Wants to try and create these angles. Has to bait the opposition out. But Jugi, with the angle being covered, will connect the headshot upon him. Takes him down. And Heroic keep their way through.
Very costly. These pistols have had effect on both halves now as North take away 3 rifles out of 5. Heroic weren't even going for any cheese there. They just stuck with the full crackers as they went for 5 weapons. Or 5 proper weapons, M4s and AKs. Now a Mac 10 going to be brought in as North. They are going to be on the full USP, so this is going to be perfect for Snappy, just to rack up as much cash as possible, allow him to buy up really anything he needs. Cajun peeking out towards middle, but he's going to be Molotov dodged. And we have this nice connector stack as well. This could be good. Snappy obviously going to be greatly favoured with his weapon, but he may get overrun after a kill or two as there's so many guns spamming his way. Not even 1 kill as Matches. He takes it. There's a gun dropped in middle, but nothing to affect as obviously a Mac 10 can't really be retrieved to the CT side for any damage. It's the pistols they'd rather use as Modi opens it up towards A. 2 quick kills. Sight taking control of, looking for more, and this is just a great anti-eco so far. Modi, he's even going to go for a last one, but no, Cajun eventually drops him, and 2 players remain, but not for long.
They're all going to get picked off here very quickly. MSL trapped towards Sandwich. Nico will gobble that one down. And Heroic worked their way through very, very well. 2 casualties into that round. Modi will be able to go for a bite as well as he just did so much damage. The AWP will be dropped over towards Jugi. This is looking perfect. The stars have aligned for Heroic. They have the best case scenario they'd want going into this following round.
Yeah, no AWP against them is going to be really, really good for Yugi to at least take advantage of North here. But let's see if the rifles can do their duty as North do set up towards its A site. Triple plate. Bit of a close position from Matches, just trying to catch anyone else peeking out through the edge of the smoke, and he will be spotted there. Nico going to be able to open it. Quick kill in the meantime in middle as AZ denies Valdi, but aggressive push out of ramp with not really much teammate support. He has Palace and Tetris as well, going to be taking control of Occasion. Exposed. He spots the last player though, going in for it, and the bomb dropped in the hands of Snappy. It seems like Heroic just wanted to play off of that pick towards the A site, but they weren't expecting Occasion to be such a damaging threat to their player base.
Cajun slowly tiptoeing up, trying to get himself into an effective angle as he makes his approach round, ready for the T's to potentially burst their way through. When they realise they can't really run that risk, they are going to have to wait for the smoke to dissipate before they try and go for anything really here. And Jugi, it relies quite heavily on him. He has to get the opening frag to allow them to work their way through. There was the potential for MSL to go for the backstab here, but doesn't want to run the risk now. Comes back over, just links up with the rest of his teammates. They can hold this crossfire. They can just unleash a hailstorm of bullets upon Heroic when they try and tiptoe their way in towards the bomb site.
Cajun playing close. Yugi has got to remove his head straight away, but obviously this ticket booth play is going to be perfect at range. Yugi not able to connect, and Cajun even takes him down as well. He's not even getting a pick before he pushes out a ramp, and that will mean Config can just isolate Modi. Finishes him off as well. We did say it ourselves, Jackie, this game is so close, and it will continue into the second half. Neither team taking the bacon, as we do equal up around 10-10 now. Both teams buying up a bit less on the economy for Heroic, but they can still afford. Modi going to be on a Tech 9. I'm not sure what Snappy's got there. Apparently only a knife, but he will be upgrading it to a pistol as well. So a bit of a buy from Heroic. I wouldn't even say that's too much of an issue considering the way that we've been seeing the Tech 9s perform this map so far.
Yeah, this is really such a close matchup here. You can see the aggression going through, though, what will be a very fast play towards that B-bomb site. It seems like it was contact, but obviously they have kicked it off early as the nades go through, forcing the hand of Heroic. They have to do something quickly, and MSL coming in with the opening headshot. Not only that, he had been able to divide the entire T-side team apart. They couldn't trade out for MSL. Now they're entering 1 by 1. This should just be easy pickings for North right now as they do the damage. Modi, though, does get into the back line, finds a frag upon MSL before Cajun B can go for the trade. Snappy and Valde, last 2 men left standing, but they're now laying down. Snappy will do a little bit of work, finds the headshot upon Config, but Cajun B keeps it going. A hat-trick for the man, as you would expect.
Good performance so far. He's actually 24 and 13. MSO as well, not on fire at all. 6 and 17. If that is actually real, well, it's a real switch-up. I'm not going to even criticize him, though, because the fact of the matter is he carried them through the previous map, and in fact, he did very well over against Na'Vi as well. So, you know, you can't have them all, can you? He's trying to have his cake and eat it too in the previous games, but this time it's finally going to bite him back. He's only on 6. However, they're still winning the game without him. As Heroic, they have really only 2 P250s into this one. Not a lot of hope as they set up towards the B site. It's MSL looking to at least farm some cash and also, maybe give a bit of a boost to his stats here up against these armorless players as they start to push in towards the apps area. As soon as that smoke dissipates, he is going to be met with an onslaught of players. Frankly, Jackie, I'm expecting a frag movie spray down for the man.
Yeah, you would imagine this will be an easy one for him to rack up some frags here. Obviously, they have the numbers, so they might be able to overwhelm him. Actually falls back with the timing as well, so there won't be that spray down potential. Gets himself into a little bit more of an effective angle with a rifle. Is going to be able to get the opening headshot upon Valde. Hungry for more as well as the push comes through. MSL doing God's work right now as he cleans everyone up. A 4K goes through. Config will also claim one on Snappy. He takes down the stragglers, and everyone will be wiped clean. Heroic not able to achieve too much into that round, but finally the cash is back in their favor. They have these Kalashnikovs to play with, but will they have some ingenuity up their sleeves?
And MSL can't be worried now because he's only 1 kill behind AZ, so in theory it's perfectly fine. He's performing as you would expect, even though 4 of those were eco kills. But anyway, Heroic, yes, lack of AWP, important, but obviously their chance to get back into this match. As North, a very aggressive push up towards the top of middle. It's going to be Cajun looking here. No one hunting for Heroic, though, as they have 5 players set up outside the site. With a lot of palace control, this can really hurt their chances of smoking over towards A. Only 2 players can smoke, so they've got to focus on which ones they want. If they don't want that CT smoke, they've got to be careful, because there could be an AWP there. Luckily for them, it's only 1 player on the site. But unluckily for them, it's Magic's boy. He's going to be playing towards the back, holding towards the firebox as they start to make their push out. It's going to be the counter smokes for Snappy. He will still commit into the jaws of Magic's. 1, 2, and he's going in for more as well. There's 3, and Magic's, he is pulling them apart. Will eventually fall down, but he's done his job, and Valde's going to fall to the ground as well, to the hands of North.
Good stuff there. Great play individually from the man as he just tore his way through them as well. The economy is gone once again. Heroic left with nothing to really aid them. Their arsenal is going to be absolutely broken as they work their way through, getting close to that final round as well, potentially, as North most likely will claim round 14 here. 1 round away from having match point on the board if they are able to claim this. The Deagle buy will come out though for Heroic. Nearly a deco in play. Jugi the only one that's going to stick with a Glock as he wants to be able to get that AWP out. Aggression towards mid. Snappy kicks it off, connects the headshot upon AZ. Rolling back the ears, showing us some source Deagle action. Config will come in though, connects the headshot back to Jugi. Takes him down very easily. Config kicking it off with a bang, but Valde tries to keep this pain train going as he will connect another headshot now, taking down Config. Leaves them in a 3 versus 3.
Flashing his teammate into connector as well. Modi trying to find himself another pick. There's Cajun there, but he's not playing close enough to really get himself a kill. And 1 player towards the back of the site. Magisk looking for something here. Will be spotted. It's going to be the push-up, though, and the aggression from short will be perfect in retaliation. MSL looking to close it, and he will do so. Cajun takes down 2 towards middle in the meantime. And North, as you say, 14 rounds will be secured. Heroic now have to bite back, and they have to do it fast because they have 1 more chance before North hit this map and match point for the series.
Look at the buy though. This is actually very good for them. The AWP over on Jugi, everyone else with the AKs, an abundance of utility. This is actually a good situation for them to be in. We just need to see them make it pay off, because it is scary as well. Going up against this North with a double AWP setup, they are going to try and penalise you if you make any mistakes. Modi, Cajun, sorry, wielding Modi's AWP, goes up close personal, but Config will be the one to kick it off as he gets the opening Praga from Snappy. Jugi has the angle covered. He should have hit the shot there, but Cajun gets the drop upon him. Heroic dismantled into the early round. Nico able to at least do something. Finds the frag upon Cajun B, but this is looking so awkward right now for Heroic.
Dire situation indeed, but this position could be great if they don't spot him. However, Config is also going to be there. He can take him down from the window room, and that will stop the bomb splitting on towards the B site. You could see they wanted to commit to that, but now with the control given up towards middle and the bomb drop towards short, Modi's have to back off, but it doesn't matter for Nico, who's still going to be alive and kicking. Shoots into the face of MSL. The reaction from Config is perfect, but this is now leaving Modi alone. A 1v3, a position where he may as well save, because it's going to be very unrealistic for him to try and do it, but to be honest, with the scoreline, he's got to contest for something. Up towards short he goes, spots out the first player. There's Magic's dropped, and there's only 1 more towards the B site and 1 more towards A. He can easily split this one as he jumps in through the window, but AZ's holding it. He needs to be aware, however, will go down, and North, they've cemented themselves at the overtime guarantee. 15 rounds here for the CT side as Heroic now have to force the issue.
So awkward here as well. That AWP potential is taken away from them. They're not really in a good situation. They have to invest quite heavily. Jugi as well, trapped just with a UMP into what could be the penultimate round. This is not good at all. North, they've still got the double AWP set up as well. They scavenged Jugi's in the end of that previous round, and they're taking the fight, actually. They will be forcing the hand of Heroic as they sprint their way up, trying to play off these close angles. North are feeling very confident into what could be this final round.
Yeah, you got to give it to them. We did say this one was going to be close, and I'm surprised Heroic really haven't had too much effect over on this T side. Only picking up 3 rounds so far. Real issues going on here, something to work on at least, but even so, they're setting up a default here. One of the first times they've actually done this, very, very passive holding on, but they've also got these players outside of A, meaning they could easily hit towards this A smoke take very soon. They've got plenty of utility to work with in terms of smokes. And the bomb going towards underpass as well, that could come in through connector. The issue is, obviously, if that bomb gets taken down on its own, because you can see that player is just completely sitting on their lonesome, just snappy. If he goes down, this could be a real issue. Either way, he's just going to be holding off. MSL's pushed up in the apartments in the meantime. He will be joined by Yuki, and this is actually a fake here. They're throwing 3 smokes over towards the A site and then jumping in towards B. Risky, considering this is the last round, but again, they've got to pull something new in to at least catch North off guard. This may force a rotation. North seem very, very hot on these rotations. The smokes will fly on over. They seem like they're going to commit, and we can see we've still got 2 players over towards the B site. North are reading this like a book.
Push coming through though, MSL will kick it off. He gets one, doubles it up as well. Another frag goes his way. Molly with the final one to go down off the back of Magic's. And there you have it. North this time around will close it out in a much easier fashion.
M&M on that final round, Jackie. Very, very fast.
It's true, working their way through. Obviously, it's scary as well though, right? Because it seemed like Heroic had a fantastic showing over on the first map. This time around, they had moments, but they just couldn't get it back together in that second half. It left them the momentum.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I'm happy personally because I predicted the score, and that's very rare. You know, I'm not very good with predictions, and I never stick to them either. I always change them and then come back to haunt me. But either way, yeah, Heroic really not having the T side we'd like to see. Well, I said it going into that second half. Their overpass T side was quite bad. They only got 4 rounds, not only because it was North had perfect setups, but towards the end they were kind of just playing with their food. And Heroic only just got into the match at the end of the first half. So now going into this one, I kind of expected a similar result, but I did not expect 3 T side Mirage rounds. I felt like that was something they could exploit far better. Yugi not having a great performance with the AWP, but going into that second map, he did do fairly well on CT, but moving over to the second half, I didn't really see him popping off at all. And that, again, it's one of the downfalls. If you have a team based on individual performance, you need these players, these star players, to step up. You're doomed to fail a lot of these positions.
It's true. Why don't we have a look at some of those highlight plays as well that allowed them to work their way through and actually pick up that matchup? As there were some very interesting moments, this being one of them. Obviously, the knife going through there nearly gets it, but the kill does come out. It was actually quite an interesting matchup, though. We saw a lot of really great plays coming out. Obviously, moments that could have been better for the side of Heroic, where they couldn't quite close it out, but still some interesting stuff going through for North. A lot of it off the back of those pistol rounds as well that allowed them to get into a better scoreline.
Yeah. That really did change the game, right? Going into the second half as well. I mean, we were reaching, what, like 7-4 kind of scoreline for Heroic. We're thinking this is good. They could look like they could close it out. You know, they have all these anti-ecos to play with. And then North suddenly pull out a couple of Tech 9 rounds and completely, you know, throw the spanner in the works. Able to take back a few more rounds. And that completely just changed the outcome, right? Because without those forced by wins with the Tech 9s, with the fast A bursts that we saw both at the times, they wouldn't have actually been able to get such an easy score going into the second half. It would have probably been a far more dominant affair for Heroic. And I feel like if in that case they could have actually closed out the second half with only having a couple of rounds to gain.
It's true. There was a lot of if and buts that kind of, you know, affected things here. And sort of one of the players to touch on there, obviously, as well, is Magis. He was going huge in a lot of clutch situations for them. He was able to do so much work and then config as well in those pistol rounds. He was the one that carried them through by the coattails.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, I'm impressed by North to actually 2-0 that series. I thought it was going to be a close one. And obviously Heroic, a great attempt to come back on the second map, but on the first map, sorry, but unfortunately it is going to fall short. However, I don't think that's too bad of a result for them. While they did lose both games, and it's unfortunate they're not going to go any higher in the standings for today, I still feel like we saw of them what we expected. Yeah,
obviously as a benchmark going in there, obviously North being the superior team, when you look at things on paper, it was a good showing from Heroic. Potential that they could have actually closed out that first map. There was so much on the line there. If things would have been slightly different, there's definitely potential, as they look dominant, they look heavy-handed, and you know, maybe in the future we will see them actually coming back stronger.
Yeah, you can't look at every loss and go, oh, they lost, so they're bad, you know, because again, this is the second best Danish team, well, I was about to say in the world, but in Denmark obviously, and then against the third best Danish team, so it's typically what you would expect. You can't expect them to always be able to perform at the same level. So going into that, as you say, a benchmark proves they're at the level that they can bring North to OT, they can get close games, but not quite that. So going into the later matches they have in the league, they should be able to easily work their way higher up in the standings against some other teams that maybe aren't at the same level of North.
It's true. And obviously, talking about some other teams that will be coming up, we do have G2 versus Kinguin. That will be our second series of the night. It should be a very explosive one. Obviously, we get to see the super team in G2 that have had some internal issues. They've been struggling, but they've still been showing signs of improvement going up against Kinguin that had a good start to the league, but it started to crumble. So let's see how that one will go. Obviously, we are going to have a short break before we come in with that, but stick around, guys. Go and grab yourself a Mountain Dew and then come back for the action.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.